Good day, everyone. We are Group 3, and in this presentation, we will talk about the different forms of tourism. Here, we will be discussing the meaning behind the different forms of tourism. It consists of adventure, culinary, disaster, dark, ecotourism, heritage, LGBT, medical, nautical, and sex tourism, and their role in the industry. With that, let us begin with the presentation.
Before we begin, let us define tourism as the activities of a person traveling and staying in places outside their usual environment for no more than 1 year or 12 months for leisure, business, and other purposes. Tourism is one of the world's fastest growing industries and a major source of foreign exchange and employment generation for many countries. It is one of the most remarkable economic and social phenomena. Did you know that tourism comes in many different forms? Each activity or goal undertaken for leisure and pleasure can be considered a distinct type of tourism. These forms are typically named after the specific activity performed. This type of activity is also known as adjectival tourism, and it refers to the numerous niche or specialty travel forms of tourism that have emerged over the years. Moving forward, the first type of tourism is adventure tourism, which is the movement of people from one place to another outside their own comfort zone for exploration or travel to remote areas, exotic locations, or possibly hostile areas. The more difficult the destination or activity, the more appealing it is to the traveler. Just like the saying goes, expect the unexpected. It is also about connecting with a new culture or landscape while being physically active. It is not just about taking risks or pushing your limits. Indeed, knowing and respecting your limits is especially important when you are in a familiar environment. In recent years, adventure tourism has grown exponentially all over the world, with tourists visiting previously undiscovered destinations. This enables new destinations to market themselves as truly unique, appealing to travelers seeking a one-of-a-kind experience. The main factor distinguishing adventure tourism from there are two types of adventure tourism. The first type of adventure is soft adventure, which refers to the activities with a perceived risk but low level of risk requiring minimal commitment and beginner skills. Most of these activities are led by experienced guides. It includes activities such as backpacking, camping, hiking, kayaking, fishing, and etc. On the other hand, hard adventure refers to the high-risk activities that require intense commitment and advanced skills. Activities such as rock climbing, trekking, caving, skydiving, paragliding, and others are included. Adventure travelers are natural early adopters, which means they are more willing to try new destinations, activity, and travel products. Popular activities change rapidly, and it seems there is a new twist on an existing sport every year.
And now, let us move on to what I think is going to ignite our hunger for travel, and that is culinary tourism. Culinary tourism is a form of tourism where tourists travel to different destinations in order to experience the taste and uniqueness of the gastronomy they can offer. Culinary tourism will not only provide the tourists with different food, but guests will be given a brief lecture about the place and the history of the food preparation. To enlighten the visitors, a cooking or food preparation demonstration can also be held. Here are some examples of culinary tourism. Their experiences will not just be limited to food tasting. It may even incorporate activities including ingredient preparation, visiting famous food establishments, kitchen or factories, and appreciation of the link between food and the local history. In addition, culinary tourism focusing on cultural immersion is not only distinctive and unforgettable for the traveler, but also a powerful ally for social and economic growth.
The term disaster tourism is the act of visiting locations that have been subjected to man-made or natural environmental disasters. It is considered a subsector of dark tourism. Disaster tourism destinations can be permanently popular with tourists such as Chernobyl, or they can be popular only in the aftermath of the disasters, such as Kathmandu after the 2015 earthquake or New Orleans after the 2005 hurricane.
And now, let us move on to dark tourism, which has a horrific past. It refers to areas that were once sites of events involving death, suffering, and grief. The activity includes visits to concentration camps, prisons, battlefields, ruins, castles, and forts. Traveling to sites are somehow connected to tragic historical events where death, tragedy, pain, or disaster may have occurred. Grief tourism and black tourism are further terms for dark tourism. In recent years, dark tourism has grown to become a popular form of tourism and travelers are eager to take part in it because it allows for the learning of new information. Sites are visited to remember the events that happened and personally see what remains of the past. Some of the destination internationals include underground tunnels used by the Vietnamese soldiers during the Vietnam War, battlefields in England, and Nazi extermination camp at Auschwitz in Poland and castle in Romania. Also, some of the destinations in the Philippines that fall under the category of dark tourism include Baguio, Intramuros, and San Agustin Church. Baguio City also brings fame to dark tourism in the Philippines. Most tourists are familiar with this location because of their spooky atmosphere and ghost stories. The majority of Baguio's World War II ruins have been preserved, despite the suffering of the numerous Filipinos there. In Intramuros, which draws visitors to remember the Spanish colonial era, Fort Santiago has become a famous tourist destination as it presents how Filipinos were tortured during that time. San Agustin Church was first constructed in 1571 and has been through numerous tragedies and renovation. When Chinese pirates attempted to destroy it in 1574, the first of these catastrophes took place. It experienced another issue 12 years later, but this time it involved fire.
Ecotourism is about more than simply visiting natural attractions or natural places. It's about doing so in a responsible and sustainable manner. The term itself refers to traveling to natural areas with a focus on environmental conservation. The goal is to educate tourists about conservation efforts while offering them the chance to explore nature. Puerto Princesa and Bohol are only a few examples of areas where ecotourism is beginning to thrive in the Philippines. But the nation is overflowing with natural attractions that appeal to tourists from all around the world.
Tourism sites are nature-oriented and are away from the urban setting. Some ecotour activities include wildlife watch, trekking, island hopping, and many more. This kind of tour aims to minimize negative environmental impact and contribute to the conservation and biodiversity of a site. Although environment conservation is the first idea that comes to mind when the word ecotourism is heard, there are two other key features of an ecotour. A key aspect in ecotourism is the conscious effort to keep local communities in the center of all activities. Locals have control over what transpires in their respective communities. This gives them a sense of ownership, which unites them to be one in pursuing efforts for the further development of ecotourism.
A kind of tourism called heritage tourism is focused on preserving the local community's cultural heritage, traveling to know the culture, artifacts, and activities that truly represent the stories and people of the past and present. According to the definition of heritage tourism, cultural, historic, and natural resources are included. However, heritage tourism is just exploring new places while having a passion for history. Here are some examples of heritage tourism activities. visiting museum, eating local food, and taking part in a festival.
LGBT tourism, otherwise known as gay tourism, is a form of tourism that caters to a specific market of tourists. In marketing terms, this specific market are called niche markets. Gay tourism is primarily directed at tourists who belong to the group of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender, or what we call LGBT people. This niche marketing is increasingly becoming more popular since those who belong to this market have the capacity and time to spend vacation and travel. It is believed that a significant number of income amounting to $1 million is being contributed by the market of industry. Did you know that the gay market is also called as pink market? As we can see on the photos, there are some same-sex couple that just got married. Following that, it can seem that people around the world actively participate in a public gathering celebrating the Pride Month, a colorful celebration of different people around the world, especially pertaining to sexuality, where many people march along several areas in various countries. This is also known as Pride Parade.
Medical tourism is a type of tourism that focuses more on essentiality more than pleasure. As the name represents, tourists travel to another country in order to find cure for their health conditions. They believe in the ability of international skill to battle the medical hardships that they are feeling.
And comfortable accommodation, all in one. We strive to provide great hospitality on top of our world-class healthcare assurance. Get treatments from Selango's top-ranked hospitals and certified health professionals. With 46 hospitals in Selangor registered with Malaysian Healthcare Travel Council, your family and you will be taken on a medical tourism experience like no other.
A certain sort of tourism that is identified by visitors who travel by water, whether by river or sea, and who agree to use the marina and port, which were created especially for their reception and use for rest and enjoyment. It refers to the movement of people out from their usual living habitat into the environment of the oceans, rivers, lakes, and canals while traveling in boats. Here are some examples of nautical tourism activities.
Sex tourism has more negative effects than it sounds because of the unhealthy concept of prostitution and abuse. People who travel regarding this type of tourism are merely for pleasure. And many times it includes illegal activities that do not promote a positive cause in the tourism industry.
لكن أنتنا كرسنا عندنا يا ما قاعد وردا سنت يا هلاين ما يشرمتين كوا لكن أنا كورسا مالد وأصوب كلا جو ماشي أنت ساحني سوانا دقنا
Jamila and others were being exploited by Somali men coming from the West. They marry the girls and then abandon them. It's known as vacation marriage. Although the practice of vacation marriage or sex tourism was long known within the Somali communities worldwide.
And that's the end of our presentation. As we discuss the many forms of tourism, we hope you learned something new. Once again, we are Group 3 consisting of Jairil Chua, Jeremiah Elasos, Chloe Flores, Aliyah Landicho, Charlotte Pulido, and Mercy Salcedo. Thank you for watching and have a great day.